Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Petty and Ill-Informed podcast, where we venture our petty and ill-informed opinions about a variety of topics. Joining me, Tom, how are you?
Yeah, really good. It's not can't complain. Life has been very kind to me recently.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Rub it
And
in.
Nikki,
Sorry.
how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing good. I'm just ready for Christmas to be over.
Oh,
I will be super stoked come January. The farther away Christmas is, the more my mental health is better. I don't know how to explain it.
you're not a fan of Christmas, Nikki. Does it not work
At,
for you?
at all. At all. I I cannot express how much it brings me a sense of dread and anxiety. I just hate it.
Oh, well, may I ask, without meaning to be too heavy, what is something like historically? Did you have bad Christmases?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Growing up and as an adult as well, it was some very heinous like holiday trauma. I think starting at the age of like 4 or 5 and just continuing on. And then as I became an adult, like that trauma isn't there, but like, I'm lucky if I get a Christmas gift.
That is absolute crap since I
Well, not from
failed
you. Not from
to give
you.
you a Christmas gift every year for
Every
6 or
year
7 years.
you are the one that does, but I'm saying historically the people in my life that isn't my sister, you know, tend to forget about me.
You need to knock this screw shit off, babe.
I'm
You did by 3 ghosts Christmas Eve.
and I'm gonna tell them all to fuck off.
Yeah, but they're just gonna like you're not gonna get the good ghosts with your luck. You're gonna get like the fucking B ghosts. They're just gonna
I'm
put
cool
a
with
bag
it.
on your head and beat you with a bar of soap in a sock.
That would be fine. Like that's just another reason to hate Christmas. You know?
Your ideal Christmas movie would be The Muppets Christmas Carol meets Die Hard, where
My favourite Christmas movie,
My-
honestly, is Blackadder's Christmas Carol.
Oh,
Mine's the ref. Hands down the ref. Dennis Leary cussing out Kevin Spacey and whoever played his wife for an hour and a half was just beautiful. Dennis Leary and the ref like represents how I feel about Christmas.
Dennis, I don't know this.
So he's a comedian. You know who Dennis Leary is, right? He did like Rescue Me. He was a big comedian in the 80s and 90s. Anyway, he did a Christmas movie with Kevin Spacey, and you would know the wife by looking at her. But anyway, he's a cat burglar. He burgles this rich person's house in a very rich neighborhood, and they shut it down. And so he has to kidnap, essentially carjack Kevin Spacey and his wife to get out of the city, and he ends up going to their house and they're just horribly dysfunctional, and it's hysterical because they're cussing at each other through the whole thing and fighting, and Dennis Leary is basically the referee going, what the fuck is wrong with you people? But it is very Christmassy. It's based in Christmas, there's a Christmas miracle at the end, sort of.
And it's called The Ref.
It is called The Ref. I'd be more than happy to stream it sometime. I haven't watched it yet this year, and it is my Christmas movie.
I'm gonna see if I can find a Blackadder's Christmas Carol, and we're gonna watch that.
That works.
That is Blackadder's Christmas Carol is a work of absolute genius.
That is my favourite Christmas movie of all time. No spoilers for Nikki, Tom.
I love Mr. Bean's Christmas special. That is another one that I watch every year, usually with my nephew, and we just giggle. I feel like that's a classic, Mr. Bean's Christmas special. The whole manger scene just brings me joy.
I don't know it.
You've never watched Mr. Bean's Christmas special? Are you not English?
I might have done years ago.
Is that allowed, Richard? Like, do they revoke your citizenship if
No,
you've
I'm not
never
going to
seen?
lie. Mr. Bean is more funny to Americans than it is to British people. All right.
Really?
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, Rowan Atkinson did his best work on Not the 9 O'Clock News and Blackadder. Mr. Bean is just not my cup of tea,
Cup of
really.
tea. I love the Mr. Bean Christmas special. Just the manger scene brings me joy.
He also performed a one-scene wonder in Love Actually.
Yeah, he was great in Love Actually.
yeah.
Johnny English is pretty funny. Like he's never not great. I just don't like Mr. Bean as much as
Yeah.
the other stuff he did. Not
I
the
don't know.
9
I
O'Clock
loved him in
News
Rat Race too. That was a great
was-
movie.
by far. Yeah, but he was just Mr. Bean in Rat Race.
I know,
Let's
but
be
he was
real.
so good.
Let's be real. Okay, he was just Mr. Bean in Rat Race. It's like people that say they don't like Alan Partridge, but they like the parole officer. They're like, he's the same character. Okay, silence. So none of you have seen either of those.
No.
Don't think so.
Brilliant. Okay.
Well, okay. So if I can't give away any spoilers for,
No, you can't, because I'm going to make her watch it.
well, it's really, really good. It's a work of genius and a fantastic and unique take on the Christmas Carol story. I can say that much.
And I'm one of those people that loves the Christmas Carol, you know, and I like all versions of it. Muppets Christmas Carol, classic Christmas Carol, Scrooged,
I like
any
Scrooge.
version of Christmas Carol, that stupid version with Michael Douglas and ghosts and stuff where he had to find someone that really loved him. I like that because it was a version of the Christmas Carol and it had Emma Stone in it. But can't go wrong with a Christmas Carol. That is classic. There's also the Goes Wrong show that does a really good Christmas special. I don't know if they're doing it this year.
Apparently, Murderville had a very good Christmas special with Jason Bateman this year, and apparently it was great and chaotic. Because do you know what Murderville is? Do you guys have it there?
No.
No. Okay, so Will Arnett plays an investigator, and every week there's a new guest star that is going to help him solve the mystery. The guest star is the only one in the group that does not have a script. So they just have to improv their way through the scenes. And Will Arnett has to try to guide them in the direction and help them figure out who the bad guy is.
Okay.
But apparently Jason Bateman got on there and just caused absolute chaos for their Christmas special. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard good things.
This was where I learned the true meaning of Christmas in Ark Raiders.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I decided, because we got the expedition in 2 days, and that's the version of the wipe where you lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an inventory full of guns and stuff, and I decided I was just going to run up to incredibly confused players and give my stuff away to them. Shout
Nice.
Merry Christmas and run away. It was quite fun.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of good responses?
No. No. And I got shot at a couple of times.
No.
But I did it. Didn't die once, and I managed to, give away a bunch of Venators and Renegades. So.
Yeah, just so you can go through to get all the stuff and do it all over again from scratch.
Yeah, I mean that's the. See, look at this. This guy's like, what the fuck? What do you want? And then I just drop a gun, drop another gun, Merry Christmas, and run off. And he is like incredibly confused. You can see by the snow, Christmas has come to Ark Raiders. It's the festival of flickering flames, as they call it.
Okay.
And I finished the project, which is collect 150 candleberries and do a bunch of other stuff. But, yeah, I'm just waiting for the expedition now. So, last week after the show, me, Nikki, and Gabby hung out in chat, as we often do, in post, and she brought up a very interesting subject of religion. And it turned out that, that was something we never really talk about on this show because it's one of the forbidden topics I have with Nikki. Politics, religion, and toast.
Correct. We're not allowed to discuss those, even though we do discuss those.
Toast especially.
Yes.
But yeah, so we had a rather, what's the word, cordial conversation about it. So I thought we could try it again. So Nikki, what are your religious views?
I am a deconstructed Baptist, Southern Baptist Christian, who mostly believes almost in, I don't know, I would call myself more of a spiritualist than having a belief in a specific God. I really kind of believe in like a universal oneness. And maybe that's just because I've taken shrooms a few times and it really changed my perspective. Like I did it in not a, oh, hey, I'm going to get high kind of way, but in a, I know I'm depressed and this can be therapeutic kind of way.
Right.
And so I don't know. I feel like we're all connected. And like Gabby and I were talking about, like, trees communicate with each other. We're learning more and more that things that we don't think are almost thinking kind of are, like trees can communicate to each other. And if one of them's getting not enough, water, they can basically go, hey, rainwater, I'm going to siphon you over to my baby sapling. And the forest is in conversation with each other. And I just feel like we're a lot more enmeshed as a whole than, any religion would allow us to believe. That's my religious beliefs.
Fair enough. Tom, what are your religious beliefs?
Well, it's been a very long journey. Can I summarize it? I'll try.
Please summarize it.
Okay, I'm actually gonna start a stopwatch here. Honestly, because I want to see if I can do it in about between 5 and 10 minutes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do it. We're in for a long one.
Okay, that's the short version. That's the TLDR. Okay, I'm gonna try 2 minutes. All right.
Okay. He's gonna give his, and I'm gonna see if I can summarize it in less than 30 seconds when he's done. Go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 2 minutes. Okay. All right. Ready? I've got my stopwatch going.
Let's go.
Born and raised as a Christian, got more and more into it in my teenage years. By my late teens, I was absolutely fanatical in a way that was not conducive to my well-being. It was something that was becoming increasingly pessimistic, miserable, and dysfunctional. It kind of stopped working. Just fasting all the time, always paranoid about what God was wanting me to give up, what secular things I was really into. Did he really want me to quit to make more time and headspace for him? It was just a really, like, I don't know how it all came about like this, but it did, and it became something that just really imploded. Got a really Christian girlfriend, split up with her because she dumped me, partly because I was so miserable about all the Christian stuff and always just down in the dumps about it all, and went groveling back to God, threw away a load of records, sold a load of collectibles because they were evil material possessions, but it didn't work, only got worse and worse. Then I jacked it all in, but still believed it to be totally and utterly true, but jacked it in and lived a couple of months just saying no. And then thought, actually, maybe it isn't all so bad. And maybe it isn't all, maybe not so bad. So maybe it isn't all true. Maybe it isn't all true at all in any way. And gradually broke free from it. Really had to deconstruct, really had to unbrainwash myself. But through a combination of just rejecting it outright and then thoroughly questioning it, it eventually subsided. I was very anti-Christian for a while. Then my wife found God, had to mellow out a lot and chill, and end up sort of in the middle ground. And I'm now I'd call myself completely agnostic, but I'm a lot more at ease and a lot more at peace. I don't know anything for sure. I wouldn't call all Christians necessarily wrong. I think that you could also be very partially right. I believe, kind of like you do, Nikki, that there's something that means we're not just atoms. I think something like the fourth force in Star Wars, something not a god that particularly wants to be worshipped, but something just really chilled and mellow. But I completely support my wife, who, as I said, became a Christian, and we go to church. And I'm sort of my son's, one of our two sons. I'm there, his one-to-one support, because of his special needs, and the end.
Doesn't believe in organised religion anymore, is agnostic. There, 10 seconds.
Okay. That was still pretty good for me.
That was really good.
What was the time? What was the stopwatch time?
2 minutes 22. All the time.
Nice. That was awesome. Proud of you.
Oh, hey, thanks. Cool. The stopwatch helped.
Up against the clock. Maybe we should have a
otherwise,
stopwatch every time you talk.
How many ers and erms would there have been otherwise? Flipping loads.
So many.
Definitely help you speak more eloquently. You should try holding a stopwatch up in class.
Well, I've always got one with me. So I can't. There's no excuse.
I saw a picture of a dude with like an 80s video camera and 80s jukebox, not a jukebox, one of the boombox. There we are. A Walkman, a microphone, a stopwatch, a heart monitor, and the caption was, "All of these things are now on a small device in your pocket."
Okay.
That was like, yeah, very true.
Yeah, remember when they used to tell us we couldn't use a calculator because we wouldn't always have one on us?
Yeah.
What bastards. They were wrong. I've got a calculator all the time.
Living the dream.
Living the dream.
I am an atheist. That is the religion I have fallen upon. I don't believe in any God. I don't believe in any divine purpose. I think we've explained pretty much every mystery there is to be about how we came to be and where we're from. And I don't think we need to muddy the waters with, backward superstitions.
I believe that a lot of organized religion is incredibly harmful. That being said, I'm not gonna think someone's awful because of how they decide they're going to worship or who they're going to decide to worship. I generally don't care.
Well, it's I mean, I was really, really cynical about it, but people do get a genuine sense of community out of it.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, they're very happy as Christians.
Are they?
They seem to be at Hannah's church, the one I go to.
Right, but are they, or are they like church happy, where you pretend that you're happy and then you just say that everything is good, because if you don't, then maybe you're not doing right by God?
I wouldn't know. Might be something I need to look out for.
Yeah, I just honestly, like, you've been to church multiple times. I tend to think that most people are in some weird sense of, I don't know, denial about things. I'm not sure. I just know how I felt in church, and very rarely did I actually feel like I was able to be myself.
It's everyone experiences it differently.
Absolutely.
One of the things that but when you're a Christian, you sort of have to find a way to explain as much as you can. But as a complete agnostic, I don't feel the need to explain it. You know, if one person experiences great things in Christianity, but another doesn't, that doesn't cause me any sort of existential crisis. You know,
Yeah.
it's just, well, different people experience different things in different ways. You know, where's the drama?
Absolutely.
It's cool.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, I'm not the kind of person that feels like I should tell you what to believe and what not to believe. It's none of my business, honestly. As long as you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah. And that's how I always look at where the harm is. That's my always go to with any morality. Look for the harm. Where is the harm? And one big problem I have with Hannah's Church is they believe that homosexuality has no place in the kingdom of God. And when there's a family in the church and their youngest, no, not their youngest, one of their middle children, and declared that she was a lesbian, and that caused them a real problem, because they had always believed that it was wrong to be gay, or it was wrong to certainly it's wrong to commit homosexual acts.
Right.
I mean, that distinction is often made. So, you know, but then you just end up in this sort of this quandary, this middle ground, where you end up saying things like, "Oh, love the sin, but love the sinner, but hate the sin," or well, we're all sinners, aren't we? Judge not, lest ye be judged. And you know, none of those things do anything to rectify what I see as a problem of devaluing homosexual love. You know, it's still very unkind. It's still very cruel. They played this out in a brilliant episode of one of those many hospital dramas, you know, like Chicago Meds or Grey's Anatomy and all of those things, you know.
Yeah.
They all those things. And they played this out in one of them where there was this exactly this situation. There was a nurse and she was a lesbian, and she announced to her mother that she was, and her mother was like, "I can't condone this, I can't encourage that." And she said, "But I still love you." She said, "I don't want love without acceptance." And I thought that illustrated the point beautifully. And this, what I did was I got a book off my shelf, which is the life story of Vicky Beeching. It's her autobiography. And her position is one that's taken by an increasing number of Christians, which is, actually, this is fine. There is nothing wrong with being gay. Nobody is harmed. So we think it's Jesus never mentioned it. Okay, if we have to adjust our view of the Bible and say, well, some of it is, we don't believe the Bible is inerrant. We believe that, you know, it is a holy book and is heavily advisory, but it is not concrete, and it is not going to come above what we think is right, morally right and wrong. And we see no harm. And there's a lot of Christians. Vicky Beeching is one of them. Said we see no harm in this. We do not believe sexual love is sinful. It's just, because no one is being harmed. The same rules apply. You know, a bad relationship is one where somebody is physically or emotionally abusive, or it's dysfunctional, or it's unhealthy. You know, all those sorts of things. Or somebody's with somebody for the wrong reasons, like, you know, forced marriage, things like, you know, those kinds of things. And that's where the right and wrong is.
Yeah.
What the other partner has got between their legs is not part of that. And I really admire that position. And so I got Vicky Beeching's book and I lent it to them. And I was the only person they told me that. I asked, I said, has anyone else like shared with you that there are some Christians who believe that actually this is not a problem at all? You know, and they believe it to be no harm whatsoever and no problem and a blessing, a good thing, just like all love is a good thing. And they said, no, nobody introduced us to this perspective. It was just me. I couldn't believe that.
Wow.
But I lent them the book. I don't know how much they digested. I think it might have been too much to take in. Their daughter isn't a Christian anyway, so it doesn't even particularly matter, arguably.
Right.
But that's the one big problem I have with Hannah's Church. That's why I don't like the idea of us donating any money to them.
You said you don't lend money to them?
We don't donate. We don't.
Oh, okay. You don't tithe.
We don't tithe.
Yeah. I get it.
And if we did, I'd suggest we need to tithe to the church down the road, Riverside Church, that is, full of pride and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah.
All right.
So that was
Silly's demanding some attention.
I know. I'm sorry about that. She's rolling around expecting belly rubs. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry, you guys. She's
just like, I can tell you're busy.
Pay attention to me. Well, and I just got rid of Fat Boy, who was tapping my shoulder, demanding affection. So
yeah. Gabby says it's so hypocritical to hate in God's name, which yes.
Yeah, I agree. Especially, yeah, we love hearing Nikki's kitty screaming. I know she's a needy bitch.
She didn't used to be. This is very recent development.
Yeah. She's decided to be a pain in the butt lately.
Who has?
That thing that's squeaking really loudly in the background.
Is it your cat?
It is. She's wanting attention. Hold on. Let me see if I can get her out of here. Come on, ma'am. Get your ass out. Go. Yeah, she doesn't want out. She just is now screaming underneath my bed.
Well, just pick her up and flop her over.
I can't pick her up. She's feral.
She's only feral when she wants to be. I mean, can
That's very true.
this fucking feral bullshit? You know, you can't be a spoiled, pampered kitty like Silly is and still keep your street cred.
She never gets picked up. She never allows us to pick her up. She still acts funny. Like she'll run and act like she's never allowed you to touch her before in your life.
She's an odd cookie.
She is.
A typical female. I mean,
all of them, yeah.
Generic. But yeah. So is that it?
Yeah, I think that's the whole religion thing. I think that, I tend to just live and let live with religion. And I like hearing I like hearing new thought processes on religion and or lack thereof, like those who believe in like simulation theory. I think those are really cool.
I can't believe in any god. that
Well, I mean,
allows
simulation.
pandas to continue to exist.
Yeah, I was going to say simulation theory doesn't necessarily have a god per se, except for the person that created the simulator. But I mean, and if you're one of those people that are like, I don't think God would be cruel to us, yada yada, play The Sims. Watch people play The Sims. We're freaking mean to them. I can't tell you how many Sims I have intentionally killed just for funsies so that I could create like a haunted house for a different sim later on. So simulation theory definitely makes sense.
Yeah, it's weird that simulation theory didn't really become a thing until after the Matrix came out.
That's
Almost
very
as if
true, but now
humans are as impressionable as a hot dollop of wax.
that's true, but we actually have scientists now whose entire thought process is to like their entire thing is to try to see, and they legitimately think we've got like a 20% chance of living in a simulation of some kind. %, that's a pretty big chance, you know.
No, simulation
You don't think
theory.
so?
No, it's nonsense.
I don't necessarily discredit it. Then again, I told you about that sci-fi idea of that book that I wanted to write that had to do with simulation theory.
Yeah, that was
And
cool.
yeah, well, no, and then I found out later on that amongst people who are into simulation theory, they legitimately think that that is a possibility, that you are living this life as like a tester. And so when you die, you get to keep those lessons learned and memories and whatnot, and then, you know, maybe choose a different life or not. So it's pretty interesting. So my idea, Tom, since Richard's the only one that knows, is I was going to write a book about a woman who lived a full life. She died as an old lady, and then basically she wakes up in a lab, and they're like, okay, well, because of the decisions you made during this life that you led, you can now join society. Because it's like these are test runs to make sure that you are going to be a functional person in our society and make correct decisions.
Okay.
So yeah, I was going to make a dystopian simulation theory kind of thing, and then I found out that it's legitimately a theory that people have.
God, could you imagine if people were forced to live an entire life and keep the memories before their actual life?
Yeah, that would be rough. But I mean, like, that's essentially what religion believes anyway. Most religions believe that, you know, you live a full life and then that's just the beginning of your life. Like, death is only the beginning. You have an entire eternal life afterwards. So there's really not a huge difference, except for one is a heaven and one is not.
I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a fair bit lately, and you know what? I think heaven is actually not just a bit of a fanciful idea. I mean, I find it hard to believe in it personally, but I also think it's a bit of a self-defeating one. I mean, like, how could you be happy? I mean, if there is this big divide and everyone's either put in heaven or put in hell, I mean, how could you be completely happy there, knowing that people you know and care about are shoving pineapples up Hitler's bum and stuff like that, and the things they do in hell?
Well, but that sounds like a good time, Tom.
You know what?
That's my heaven. You want me to shove pineapples up Hitler's bum? Like, that sounds like a good time. He's probably gonna hate it like every second. Yeah, no, I'm with you, because if it's like the biblical thing where he's in heaven and he sees his buddy down below and the buddy is like just begging for a drop of water, that's heinous. And I don't believe that is a correct picture of heaven.
Exactly. I mean,
I think like, that's I mean, how shitty would that be? Like, oh, you know, Grandma's down
I mean,
there in hell. So
that's-
sorry, Grandma. Living my best life with Jesus.
Exactly. It's kind of like self-defeating.
It is.
And then there's loads of other things. I mean, The Matrix 2 was a bit of a rubbish movie, but one good point the old guy did make at some point in it was when we built a perfect world for humans, they couldn't cope with it. They needed something to fall out over. They need a chat. They need chat. Sometimes we need challenge. Sometimes we need things to fall out over. Sometimes we just want to have a good old argument with someone. And we're not. We'd find a way to ruin it. We would find a way. Human beings, unless our consciousness is totally transformed, we would find a way to trash heaven and trash utopia. We'd botch it. We'd be shit.
The whole thought process, at least in Christianity's heaven, is that we will be fully transformed from like the sinful nature that we have to a more fulfilled spiritual and physical and everything form. Like Gabby said, heaven sounds lonely and boring. My thing is I've always kind of, I can't remember what book that I read, but it really transformed my thoughts, because I used to think like that too. Oh, heaven would be super boring. All you do is just like praise God all day. But then you start thinking about it like from a Christian perspective, heaven is, there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth, and we're going to live on the new earth. So everything that you can do on earth, you should be able to do in heaven. You want to go deep sea fishing for 100 years, you can do that. Like, I feel like in a Christian heaven, those things would be available to you. In fact, when I was a Christian, I used to make heaven dates with friends. Like, hey, when we both kick it, we're going to go horseback riding. Like that, that kind of stuff.
That's really cute. Well, I think it is.
Yeah, but that's always been my thought process on heaven, is it couldn't just be like everybody gather around God all the time singing. That's going to get really boring after a while.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Babe, seriously.
Dude, I can't with her. I'm so sorry. She's not even somewhere I can touch her. Come here, whore. She ran away from me.
So she's literally doing it just to be a dick.
Yes.
She doesn't want anything. She's just being a dick.
She wants me to pet her with my eyes.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
I've got some daft news articles I can read.
Go for it.
Okay. This is the Week magazine, current issue. It must be true. I read it in the tabloids. There's 3 things for us here. The Housekeeping Olympics, a vibrant celebration of the dedicated people who meticulously care for guests, were held in a 12,000-seater arena in Las Vegas last month. In the 35th iteration of the games, 10 teams competed in events including a motorized vacuum obstacle race, a bed making against the clock, and a mopping relay. The games were dominated by teams from big resorts. Social media users described them as symbol of dystopian capitalism and a humiliation ritual.
Right.
Okay.
I love a good humiliation ritual.
Well, I mean, how is that a humiliation ritual? Just because you're making people do loads of housework?
Pretty humiliating for the people doing it. I mean, you should see Nikki clean. It's like two different pictures.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know why I even tell you things or send you pictures anymore.
Me neither. Tom, you should have seen it. She was cleaning her bedroom, and she sent me a picture of it before, and there was a load of stuff on the bed, and there was a load of stuff on the floor, and then she sent me a picture after, And there was a load of stuff on the bed. And
Lies.
there was a load of stuff on the floor.
And there was a cat.
The only difference was there was a cat in one picture.
Okay, let me tell you what actually happened. I took a picture, and then I'm at ADHD. So like the way that I clean is really weird. Like I'll like get in on something and then I'll find something else and I'll do it. But I was going between two rooms. So I showed him the before picture and then he wanted an updated picture. And I told him, you're not going to see much of a difference because I've been doing X, Y, and Z. I was rearranging my drawers and like taking stuff out of my drawers and refolding it and sticking it in. So when I sent him the updated picture, there was literally no difference. And I told him there wouldn't be. Because I hadn't gotten to my bed, I was rearranging my dresser.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people like I've literally spent 8 hours cleaning a bathroom before because everything had to be in its spot, and I was like, you know, down on my hands and knees, like scrubbing grout and stuff.
Well,
when I clean.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I adhere to the doctrine of there's a place for everything and everything has its place.
Yes, I'm that person because if I don't, it just spirals out of control. I'm either super anal retentive where everything goes or I become a complete trash panda. There's no in between. I have to either have it where it's supposed to go or everything just falls apart. That might be... Yeah, a neurodivergent thing.
Apparently belongs on the bed and on the floor.
Okay, so what happens is I have a huge king size bed, and I sleep like, you know, on an itty bitty edge of it, just because I don't take up that much space. So anyway, if I'm you know done with laundry and I don't want to fold it and put it up yet, it goes on the other side of the bed. It just is what it is.
Babe, we listen and we don't judge. I'm not judging you.
Yeah, I suck at putting up my clothes, man. They'll just stay there. And I'm like, oh, I'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine. Until it drives me nuts. And then I have to put it up.
Should we move on to a news story?
Yeah.
Yes.
A fugitive has been recaptured by Italian police after he was spotted hiding by pretending to be a statue in a nativity scene. The Ghanaian man had gone missing after being sentenced to 9 months for assault in Bologna, but he was recaptured after the mayor of Galatone in southern Italy noticed something amiss with his town's nativity. Initially, Flavio Filoni said he'd been blown away by the figure's lifelike quality, but then he moved. And Filoni noticed his clothes were not 2,000-year-old biblical dress. And there's a picture of this guy just stood there in the middle of this nativity scene next to, I think, Joseph. Just stood there trying to freeze. It's like something out of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Which was a TV show was set around improvising drama scenes from comedians who were very good with their spontaneity. They were very good, those guys. It really reminds me of that. This guy just stood there frozen still in the middle of this nativity wearing all the wrong clothes.
And just standing out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, it's funny. The third story. A fire engine was called to help a motorist who had become stranded in about a foot of floodwater in a suburb in Birmingham last week. A viral video clip shows a woman whose Mercedes coupe had come to a standstill on the flooded road, clinging desperately to a rescue line as fire crew helped her move slowly through the calf-high water. The incident, dubbed a panic in a puddle, sparked an outpouring of scorn online. The human race is doomed, said one social media user. I haven't looked this up, at least not yet, and I'm sure my inbox will ping in a moment with Gabby sending me a link to the video. No pressure, Gabby. Because she's very good at that kind of thing. And I was just about to search myself, but I thought, why am I bothering? Gabby's already on it, blatantly.
Yeah, you know, Gabby's gonna take care of us. She always does.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's a legend.
Yeah. But yeah, that does sound very much in the first world problems category of life crises.
Yeah. I think Gabby and I are gonna maybe do a podcast together. We should.
Oh, yeah.
Should totes do it. Yeah. Gabby's so great. Like, she asks some really great questions of like everybody for everything. And I love that dynamic of, you know, like genuinely wanting to know. It's great. We have interesting conversations, Gabby and I.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to be doing the show next week? And that is the question.
I think so. It's going to be the 27th, so it's going to be 2 days after Christmas.
Okay, cool. All right. I wasn't sure if you were taking a couple weeks off or if we were just going to, you know.
It depends. I might. Nah, like all the holidays are before Saturday. New Year's Eve is on a Wednesday. Christmas Day is on a Thursday. So, yeah. This time next week, Christmas will be over with. That's so weird to say.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm so thankful. God, so
Nikki,
ready.
Every year for the past 20 years, I've put up with this attitude. Could you just one time just be like, yay, Christmas?
Woohoo, Christmas. It's the best holiday ever with Christmas and Christmas spirit and Christmassy stuff.
Some dickhead just tried to shoot me. Okay.
It wasn't like that. Like, I'm genuinely just excited for January when work begs me to not come in.
Why does work begging? Oh, yeah, because
it's the end of the year. So everybody's met their deductible. So we're doing like 90 to 100 surgeries a day. And at the beginning of the year, no one will have met their deductible. Everything resets. So no one wants to pay for their surgery full price. So they're not going to show up. So work is going to constantly be like, please don't come in. Who doesn't want to come in? And I'll be like, that's me. It's me. I don't want to come in. That's what I'm excited for. It's like working retail, but it's surgery.
Gabby saying
wow.
bar humbug as well. Come on, guys.
I'm not trying. That's why I was saying I was excited for January. I'm just ready. I'm ready for the year to be over.
Okay.
And for my life to go back to normal. Yes, they do, Gabby.
But they put the Christmas decorations up like right after Halloween. And there's before Halloween this year.
Yep. Yeah.
Like we went to Scotland and there were Christmas aisles up in October.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
And I was like, I'm pro Christmas, and I think that's a bit much.
Is Easter a big deal over there? Am I going to be over there?
No, it's not really. Okay. I mean, they sell Easter eggs, but it's not really a big deal.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to be there right after Easter. All right, I was just curious.
I mean, I'll get you an Easter egg.
Cool. I've never had like an actual Cadbury egg, so I'd appreciate if you could set a couple aside for me.
Cadbury's cream egg.
Yeah, we have them here, but you know they're not the same. You know they're not the same. I've heard amazing things about y'all's Cadbury cream eggs, and I would like to try one.
They do Easter egg size Cadbury's cream eggs.
Nice.
Oh wow.
I think I've never had one because I think that's a bit too much.
Well, if they're anything like the American ones, like Cadbury eggs are just essentially liquidated sugar,
Yeah,
like
basically what they are.
behind a chocolate shell. So I don't think you would need an actual Easter egg sized. That does seem excessive.
Wait. Before we wrap things up, do you guys see about that California worker in Chico, who was wearing a Charlie Kirk shirt and got yelled at by a TikToker, and like the entire internet turned on the TikToker, not the woman
Good
in the
for
Charlie shirt?
them.
Right.
Good for them. Good for the internet. No, I haven't heard about that.
No, I haven't either.
See, Gabby, it's just you. Okay, I'm not weird. It's just you. Gabby was the one that told me about it and was like, "Oh, I can't believe you haven't heard of this." You see.
Yeah, no, I haven't. But you know, I'm very selective with how much news I watch. I maybe watch an hour Monday through Friday, maybe. So
I have blocked everything political from my life. Like
that's so
Facebook.
great. Yeah.
The only place I get any political news is from Percy's server in the Ministry of Spoolen, and I rarely check that.
Yeah, and with good reason. You know, because like, yeah, I've done that too. If you look on my Facebook, most of what you see is like memes and stuff. And when I look on Facebook, it is nothing but memes. Very rarely do I see political stuff. My TikTok is like that too. You know, I don't know. I just prefer, I like to stay in the know, but I also, it's not good for my mental health to be stuck on the news. So like, unless something's said in my OR, I generally don't know about it unless it's like a national news, like it made national news. You know, like I knew about the shooting at Brown. I knew about the shooting in Australia because it made national news, but I'm not watching American news, honestly, at all. I'm not sure if you guys have, well, because the same like few people own all of our media. And so it doesn't matter really what channel you watch, you get a very propagated view of the news. And it's as stupid as we could be dropping to like 20 degrees here in Memphis and it will be like winter storm of the century, everyone's gonna die, you know. And it's so like fantastical. I don't know, like it's stupid. I just prefer to not watch our news because at least like if I watch the BBC, they're calm, cool, and collected about it. But on American news, everything is the end of the world and you need to be terrified all the time.
Because, you know, the world's ending. That's why you need to be terrified.
Right. And I don't care.
You need to worry about the socialist zombies that are coming to eat your guns. No, that was hilarious. You suck.
Sorry, we're massive disappointments. I know.
Why would zombies have a political alignment?
Why not? If you asked American news, they would. Each side would be pointing to the other side, like that Spider-Man meme.
That was fucking gold, and you two are just like,
I'm sorry. I'm the worst.
barely aware I'm alive.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Anyway.
Hey, it's been almost an hour.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we
Yeah, hi.
will probably be here next week. If we're
I'll be
not,
around.
there'll be a community post explaining why we haven't gone live. But I can't think of any reason why we wouldn't be. I mean, that's 2 days after Christmas.
Yeah, I don't need. I'm fine. I can be there.
Let me see. It's the Saturday, isn't it?
Oh, the internet
I'm
raised
not- I'm-
over $200,000 for the woman wearing the shirt.
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We will have to see. I'm have to let you guys know. I'm not probably on the day.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's going to be 2 days after Christmas.
Yeah. Sounds like fun. I mean, I'd love to be there if I could. Let's see. Should we call it a night?
Yeah, we're wrapping things
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's what I was doing.
Okie dokie.
I was just waiting for you to finish your train of thought. That'll wrap us up for this week. We will return next week, despite the hopes of many. Good night from me, and it's good night from them. Good night, everyone.
Good night.